Hey guys, this is Kino of the Raptor Junkies. You guys have been hearing me talk about the new build I'm working on my truck for so long. We just made a very long trip to get here to South Cal through this whole coronavirus, but nobody gave us beer, by the way. I'm here with Kevin Mahan, the owner and founder of HM Racing Design. Kevin, by the way, I got you something.
I got you something too. Thank you, sir.
Man, this is awesome. So should I put it on?
Yeah,
absolutely. I need a couple of tattoos.
Yeah.
I got to have a couple
now
of
you're
tattoos.
Part of the IE, baby.
All right. That's awesome. So I wanted to start with telling people why I chose you. You weren't really working on Raptors. You were building, luxury pre-runners, trophy trucks, racing. But I looked at a lot of the products in the market. There are some really good products. They look really nice. They have a lot of advertising behind them. But the more I looked at them, they weren't really what I was looking for personally. It doesn't make them bad. It's just, this isn't what I wanted for my truck. I wanted something that I can use daily and I could take and beat on the trail and get use of it. And in our industry, and the Raptor industry, and these kind of trucks industry, it's not going up, it's travel, and it's going down.
Right.
So I would like to give you the opportunity to first tell us a little bit about HM Racing, where you started, where you came from, as far as your background, and just walk us through how you got right here where we are right now.
Started, going on 23 years. So, basically started as a race shop. It was just a passion. I had a partner at the time, and we just wanted to get into building race trucks. We've been around it for a long time, and it was just what we really loved. We both raced motocross and did things like that, but kept getting hurt. And so we started getting into trucks and doing it on the side.
That's awesome.
Just working on our own stuff, and then slowly built up our tools and experience, and went to work for somebody for a little while. And got, even more experience than what we had. And then, decided to kind of do it on our own. And that was, this is history.
So we're standing right next to one of, what I consider a marvel of engineering. This is so much going on in here. And I also noticed that all over your shop and throughout our conversations that this is the shock that you recommend as well. A lot of people, tell me they're the same, and I've been a big firm believer they're not the same.
No, they're not.
Even on their race series are still not the same. So there are a lot of things about your build and the quality of your build that you stand behind, which is why I actually contacted him. And I told him, hey, I want you to do this build for me. I want you to get into the Raptor. And I introduced him to Raptor Junkies, and you brought one of your trucks the other day with Corey. Unfortunately, something happened. Unfortunately, something happened out there, but we're going to taking it out again. We're going to take some more. So we're about to walk through the shop, guys, and show you some of the things that he works on. So to my right over here, we have one of your luxury pre-runners, and I think my buddy Mark Harshney, a doctor out of Utah who works with us also at Raptor Junkies, he contacted you and he said he wants to build one. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
So basically what we're starting with, we're kind of taking the framed F-150 to the point of where you can take it. I guess it's as far as you can evolve these trucks. So basically it's a high travel, a lot of horsepower, fully caged, raceable platform if you wanted to go do sportsman or a Class 8 style race, but also a very comfortable street-driven pre-runner.
You can go take it home, go to Starbucks. Would it fit in the Starbucks drive-thru? A lot of my guys are asking me right now.
Questionable because we're 96 and 5/8 on the outside of the tire with a 40. So
awesome.
They'll have 40-inch tall tires. They'll have a 20-inch travel front, 28 in the rear. There'll be a 3.0 coilover, 4.0 bypass in the front, 4.5 in the back.
Wow.
Trophy truck running gear all the way through. Supercharged 5-liter.
Fully caged?
Yeah, fully caged. Yeah, we're doing the V8 5.0s. The 5.0s are super reliable. More reliable, I think, as any platform that's out there.
Yes, you can put a lot of power on those. I personally haven't had any experience with them. I actually had the 4.6 Mustangs, and I used to beat those up as well.
Right.
I was kind of disappointed a little bit with Ford, but the EcoBoost has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
It requires more maintenance.
Right.
They're trying to dial in the cam phasers. I've seen some pictures recently, actually, that they redid the whole design, so I'm hoping that's promising.
Okay.
But you can, for you to take you could do a Raptor and keep it all-wheel drive.
Okay.
But if you want to take it to the next level, why would you go two-wheel drive? A lot of people kind of don't understand the concept of why going two-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive.
Well, once you lock the rear ends up and you have a lighter front end and the wheel travel on the 40s and the horsepower, you don't really get stuck. I mean, honestly, it's hard to get them stuck.
Right.
It really is. It takes driver error to do it. It's not like it's going to be, you'd have to like stop on an uphill in the sand, or something of that nature where it's just,
Right.
common sense.
Right.
But it definitely makes for a faster platform and more responsive.
Right.
That way.
A lot, because you want to always have the rear
Yeah, I mean,
moving around
all-wheel
more.
drives are starting to make it come, kind of coming into their own, I guess. They're not really there. In my opinion, they're not there yet.
Right.
They're still not beating the two-wheel drive trucks in the desert and racing. They're getting close, but they're still not faster.
They're not faster.
Certain spots, absolutely. But overall, the dependability is still in two-wheel drive.
So like the GT3 of the 911s,
Exactly.
right? It's my favorite.
Yeah,
my favorite
exactly,
car. I
yeah.
still miss that car, by the way. So with the build that we're doing on my truck right now, so we're here in South Cal. We're gonna be here a little bit. We're gonna leave the truck with you. Could you walk me through a few little stages of like what we're doing in the front, what we're doing in the rear, which shocks are we going with? Can we give a little comprehensive thing? And we will give you guys a lot more in-depth video on this. We just want to go through just a slight build of this.
Well, there's different levels. I mean, we've been going over this for, we went stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Do we want to go crazy?
It's your fault. You keep showing me.
I opened up Pandora's box.
You keep showing me these beautiful shocks and the beautiful builds. I'm like, oh my God.
Put it this way. We can do anything. You know what I mean? We can go from a stage 1 kit, which we will have eventually, just an upper arm, a coilover replacement. We'll have that available. We're going to have our bolt-in, which is going to be our bolt kit, so to speak. That will be a long travel kit in a 92 wide outside of tire or a 94 wide outside of tire. Then you step up into the next, big boys.
The race kit.
Yeah, you get the race kit. So all of a sudden we're cutting all the stock mounts off the upper part of the frame. We're plating in the frame 100% with chromoly, reinforcing the lower mounts. You get a bigger shock. You get a bigger bypass.
More travel.
A better shock ratio.
Right.
The shocks are in line inside the arm like a conventional race truck.
Right.
And it's upgradable. You can do steering. You can do a whole bunch of different things with it. So
right.
That's kind of the epitome of you want to go to the top echelon. That's where it's going to be.
Hey, I remember starting with you on the lower end of things, still going not necessarily a bolt kit,
right,
but a kit that requires some welding, a coal bucket, cutting, going with a 10-inch coilover. Now we're looking at a modular rear bed cage with a bypass rack. We're doing chromoly, but we're going to offer the DOM version of it as well.
Just to keep the price point down. I don't think a lot of people understand how much more chromoly is, and especially with the market, it fluctuates.
Right.
It goes up and down because there's not a lot of manufacturers that make chromoly in the industry. So we're kind of stuck at their mercy. So you might get a bed cage one week, it costs you $300, $400 of material. Also, the next week it's $800.
Wow.
It goes up that much. Yeah.
It's like a stock market of metals.
It really does. It fluctuates in the stock market.
Availability and people having it in demand.
Exactly.
And then what we're doing is, because I told you I want to go further, you were like, I'm not going to just let you buy parts and just get rid of them.
Right.
We decided to go with a 10-inch Curry for right now, and we're thinking about maybe even building your own housings.
That's going to be the next step, I think, is what we're going to do. We've worked with Dirt Tech for a long time, and Ryan's, looking to possibly get out of it altogether. If that's the case, we'll probably start to do our own. And I think that's going to be the next step that we actually go into.
The next step. Yeah. And the confusion between, 9-inch is plenty good versus 10-inch. And 9-inch would have worked for my application, but because I told you eventually I want a cage, you were like, let's take it right now, buy it one time. It's like $1,500 more or whatever. Let's do it one time. So everything I'm doing on my truck, we're building in the mind that it's going to go to the next level. So we'll make sure to post all those details for you guys. We're going to walk through every step of these. We're going to be starting to weld the bed cage this coming week. Yep. And then Mr. Mark McNeil will be taking possession of my truck probably in the next couple of days. He's going to have it for a little bit to put all the parts that it needs on it, because you can't fit all the stuff with the stock fenders.
No, it just doesn't work. When you get a bigger tire alone, it doesn't work. Ford really pushed that whole entire fender line to the max. You put a 37 on it, and it's really not happy.
I actually rubbed 35, the stock 34 and a half on the rear at full travel. with the Icon rear springs, they really rub up on there and touch.
It allows a
So
little more articulation.
right,
Yeah.
right. Just a last quick thing: if we're going from the first stage to the one we're building on my truck or Liana's truck with Dirt Days, she's also contacted you. Build a beautiful truck with her. Where do we start? Like, can you give us a little price range? And it includes installation, is what you're telling me, right? So we're starting from what's about 17,000 installed.
Construction wise, we're not going to try to change too much of the geometry. Is going to stay the same. So what we're going to do is basically offer the bolt-in kit that we've had in a race form to a bolt-in function.
Right.
So it makes it a little bit user-friendly for people to do an installation. It's very labor-intensive when we get into the race kit because we're doing so much more framework.
Right.
We're doing all new mounts, doing coilovers, everything
Plating.
else. Plating, the shock towers. It just gets into a lot.
It's like what 20 more hours almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's about a 40-hour work week for
Wow.
us, and we do it every day.
Right.
So, I mean, for the average guy to go and do it in his garage, it's really not feasible. That's kind of why we're trying to bring the bolt kit out so the guys can actually still have the performance that we want to offer, but yet they can do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we're talking from about 17.
You're about 17, with shocks, labor for the bolt kit. And
Does it include fenders?
That will not include fenders.
Roger.
Fenders will be on top of that.
Yes, sir.
Rims, tires, that type of thing will be extra.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll be about 19, in the 19 range if we're doing the race kit
Right.
with installation, because the installation is about double.
Right, because it takes a lot more time. Well, thank you so much for your time. We're going to get to work. We have a lot to do. And we're going to, if you've followed me before, we're going to make sure to bring you information with full details and step-by-step on this build. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for taking this project on. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.